All right, welcome back to the Live 100 podcast. I'm Jason Yarusi. Today we are talking about expectations versus reality. And there's so much setback that happens when you have an expectation that a certain path is going to go a certain way. And when in fact you start down the path and you find that the sunny path, the straight path, the direct path, the easy path that you expected, that you hoped for, that you had done all the work to have show up, ends up being dark, treacherous, stormy, full of all kinds of threats. And what it needs is really a regret, right? Because what you intended for, what you hoped for, what you wanted, what you really thought was going to happen ends up so far from the truth of what actually happens. And in life, there's nothing more true than being disappointed when you have a certain mental idea about how the end looks. And many of this is true with our goals, right? Many times we set out on goals, we set out on having ambitions. We want to be the next CEO. We want to go out there and just have a fantastic life, meet that special someone, have this huge mansion, just amazing race car, make hundreds of millions of dollars, sell and exit a company. And then we get smacked in the face with reality of that setting in of where we actually are today. Now, can all of those things be possible? Yes. And the way to get through the murkiness, through the danger, through the treacherous scenarios is losing the perception of what is actually the end and understanding that the steps, right, the actions, the work you're doing today, right now, is where all of your intention and your focus needs to go. Now, as you do this, right, you have to make sure you're being on track. So this is not just go, hyper focus and just put all of your energy just into the moment and just forget where you land. We have to focus on the actions. When we started buying apartment buildings, one of the things that happens is that you can get so stuck on wanting to buy the building, right? Wanting to go and find a great property for you and your investors to find. And each time you don't get it, each day it doesn't go your way, each offer you make that gets rejected, or you get outbid, or you don't actually get in the pool for best and final. You feel this level of setback, this level of failure because you haven't accomplished a goal. And that pushes it further and further away from actually ever getting to the goal because we get discouraged, right? We get discouraged and we say the goal is never going to actually show up. I'm never going to reach it because the work I'm doing right now is not accomplishing a goal. But when we change the focus, right? When we change the narrative and I put it off on knowing that my goal is to buy a building, but all I can focus on is what the steps are that I'm actually doing. How many calls to brokers have I made this week? How many properties have been sent for me? How many have I under rented? How many have I gone out and made an offer for? How many properties have I walked, right? And when you start those metrics, when you set those with intentions that lead to the actions that lead for you to hitting your goals, right? What it leads to is it leads to value success in your operations instead of the actual intended goal in the end. And when you can look at the steps you're doing, you look at the work you're putting in, and you can be happy and satisfied that you're meeting your expectations, right? I said I'm going to go out there and I'm going to find 2 properties to underwrite, and I found 2 properties to underwrite. I said I was going to call a broker, and I called a broker, and I got him to send me a property. I said I was going to go out there and walk a property and do due diligence and go tour properties, and I toured a property. You start setting off mile markers that start hitting the points that are along your journey to reaching your goal. And you lose focus because what we forget to take in is that our goal shows up when we reach our goal. And that may have massive impact, but you're going to spend all the time on the journey. 99.9% of the time you're on the journey to the goal. Only for that split second do you actually reach the goal. And for many of us, the high achievers out here, you hit that goal, but you already have 10 more goals past it, right? So you can't even fully enjoy that goal. So you have to learn to enjoy the moment. You have to learn to enjoy the time on the road you're on, even when it's dark, even when it's stormy, even when it's treacherous, even when it's scary, because you know your focus on the action is going to lead you to the better results that you deserve to have. Here at Live 100, we want to build the best life, but that's build the best life, which leads you to having a life. You have to position yourself for what you want. You have to master the habits and rituals that are going to set you up for success. And then tomorrow you have to do the same thing, and then followed by the same thing the next day, intentionally executing on the path that's going to get you to the desired destination. And along that journey, you may find that the steps you're taking, the habits you're taking are kind of on the right path, but not exactly. So then you have to pivot. You have to continue to navigate the course to the desired destination. Your path of expectations gets trumped when you intentionally execute on the actions that make you who you want to be. So today, if you're disappointed, if you're having regrets about what you haven't done or what you want to do or what you're not reaching the goals, or you're not going out there hitting the marks, ask yourself, are you doing the actions that lead you to the results that you can have if you just keep putting in the work? And if you're not, it's time to refocus, repivot, and put yourself on the right track. And if you are today, have faith in yourself that the work you're doing is going to pay off. Do you know when? Do you know the exact time? No. That's the amazing part of this world, is that the future's coming and we have no idea what's leading us down that path. But if you're putting in the work, you know you're going to be in a better spot than where you stand right now today. And if you want to ask yourself a few questions, go over to jasonyarusi.com. We have a free assessment there. You can go ask yourself a few questions about how you're showing up today to make sure you're absolutely putting in your best self each and every moment of the day. All right, that's what I have for today. I'm Jason Yarusi. This is the Little Wonder Podcast. Let's do this.